Alex, have you seen anything about this biopic of Bruce Springsteen?
Sure have done gone and seen the first trailer, and I know you have too. And I was wondering what you thought of this.
So I'm gonna drop what many might think is a bombshell because I am wearing the shirt. I didn't even mean to do that. Honestly, I didn't even. No one's gonna believe me, but I didn't mean to do it. Scout's honor. I have not watched the trailer. I want to go in. I've decided to go in completely fresh to this movie. Nothing about it. Springsteen obviously being, if there's a Mount Rushmore, I'm only going to put really one on there, and it's the boss. I might have a secondary Mount Rushmore. I'll put some other people, but like the boss is it for me as far as songwriting, as far as like kind of what I look for in music. That's the most important guy for me. I am very excited to see this movie. I'm really not skeptical at all about it being good. So I'm interested, as I think somebody that looks at film a lot more critically than I do. What might you be looking for with a biopic?
What am I looking for in a biopic? Probably the Robbie Williams movie where he was played by a CGI monkey. And that's not a lie. That was one of the more like interesting ways they could have chosen to do something like that. But I don't know. I guess what do I personally look for in a biopic? I think you have to, for me, turn the artist, in this instance Bruce Springsteen, into a character for me. Like bring it to life, flesh it out, make it feel like a real story. Something like Elvis, like Austin Butler did a good job like doing like an Elvis imitation, but I'm not really looking for that kind of thing. I want to live with the character. If you don't look completely like him, which the actor who plays Springsteen, it's one of those like squint and you can see it type things. But for me, it's creating a character, because it's less for me like it needs to have total fidelity to what actually happened. It's the music business. A lot of this is predicated on tall tales. You can talk about, and I'm not saying like they're all liars. Many of them are, but you know, it's the fish, the big fish, the embellishment sometimes. And sometimes there's the truth. And part of what we love about it is we don't know. We weren't there. But the movie's going to put you there. So the movie's got the option of like filling in the blanks of that history for you and deciding what did happen. There's cheeky stuff like Bohemian Rhapsody did that. I didn't think it was like a particularly good movie, but it did some fun stuff. So this idea that like, no, I came into it needing it to be this person's life. It's like you're watching a movie. You're taking the template of this person that you know and love and their story, and you're bringing it to life. And to do that, you got to make it interesting. You got to massage some things. So all I'm saying is this Jeremy Allen White character playing Bruce Springsteen, sock it to me, because I hate the bear. I hate the bear. So I love Shameless. I hate the bear. So I'm 50-50 on this fella.
The bear to me is just very, very stressful. It's like the uncut gems of television. It's I can see I like it, so I can appreciate its merits, but it's one of those things where it's not like The Wire, where if somebody tells me they don't like it, I'm just, well, you're just an idiot then. You know, it's like, to me, I can see how it's like you don't really appreciate the energy of that show. I can fully understand that. And a lot of those storylines, the point is to make it feel extremely real. And like everybody's had family drama, and some people far more seriously than others. And I'm sure that is like very triggering sometimes for people to see that. That Seven Fishes episode was crazy. Like, as far as if you experienced anything like that, I'm sure that episode was like being back in Nam. Like it was crazy sometimes in that show. But I think I agree like completely with what you're saying. Is like, you know, I think the gold standard a lot of people think of is like the Doors movie as far as like biopics go, because you had Val Kilmer like completely try to just embody Jim Morrison and just like not act and like play him, but to be like, I am just him in these scenes. Like, this is not acting, this is real. And I think when you can like really dive into it like that, it makes it into, like you're saying, a movie. It gives it like, and you have to have a plot too, right? Like there has to be some build up. There has to be some kind of like pushback against them. There has to be the obstacles and everything. It's like the hero's journey, right? It's got to kind of follow that to a certain extent. And I think if you can nail that, and there's a lot of points in Bruce's career where you can like probably pull from. So I wonder if they're going to do like a specific time period, or if it's going to be, kind of multiple time periods.
I don't know if I misunderstood this, but I was under the impression that it was not like a soup to nuts life biopic. I might be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was kind of similar to the Bob Dylan movie, where it's a timeline between Born to Run and Born in the USA.
Okay.
I don't know if that's accurate. And
I would think, I mean, it's such a long career, and like, just like the Bob Dylan one, it really did. That was a great movie. I appreciate it. I like that movie quite a bit. I think that was probably equivalent. Timothy Chalamet, I think, was pretty equivalent to like Joaquin Phoenix as Johnny Cash. I think they both like really made it their own thing and made it a pretty captivating movie to watch. I think if you were doing a movie about Bruce's life, it would be stupid to try to do the whole thing in one movie. Like you'd end up with The Irishman, but in a bad way.
And it becomes a little unsatisfying because you can't spend as much time as you want on meatier stuff,
mm-hmm.
which is probably going to come at like very distant. So that's the other thing with the biopic, is a lot of them, because they're in many cases doing someone who's dead, you can do their entire life compressed into like at
mm-hmm.
best a 2.5 hour movie, which is not as satisfying as setting this thing in the lead up to Dylan going electric at the Newport Folk Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Like using a pivotal moment is the thing you're heading towards. There's that movie about Saturday Night Live that takes place like 47 minutes before the show started.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great movie. So shameless plug for that one. But that's the thing about the biopic. It's got to be story first, using these characters. Think about it. When an actor gets cast as like Michael Jackson, do they sit there and go, I can't wait to participate in an authentic, comprehensive biography of this famous person?
Yeah.
No, they go, it's the role of a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
These are larger than life characters. Treat them as such. The information that the public has is the information the public's going to get. I doubt you're going to drop a bombshell about like illegitimate Bruce Springsteen children in the biopic.
Crazy though,
because if you did, we could just go, oh, well, that's clearly an embellishment they made for the movie. So in a way, it's a brilliant psyop. Dave Grohl should have waited for the Nirvana biopic to announce his bastard child, but he just volunteered that information. And here we are.
Yeah, that would be crazy if that got revealed in there, though.
Can you imagine? That in.
Yeah, what a wild way to announce that. Needless to say, I'm excited to see that for sure. And I think Jeremy Allen White will probably look a lot more like Springsteen when you start putting him in that setting, because all I've really seen so far is just like the set photos basically of him like backstage, like dressed up as him, but it's right next to like the craft service tables, so it doesn't really, like, you can't put it in context, so it looks even more out of place. It's like seeing Bruce Springsteen dressed up like he always does anywhere is like looks out of place, because it's like, why are you wearing that?
What is this?
Yeah, like a scarf that like takes up half his torso.
Hey,
and I'm like,
3-year-old man, what is this?
Yeah, what are we doing, Bruce? And he's always been that way though. So he always used to wear those like big, I don't know, it's like the newsboy cap, I guess, where it's like the big puffy, it's like the scally cap, but it's got like, it's like really wide, like Nardwuar.
Yes.
Wears one.
Yep.
Whatever that style hat is called, he would like used to wear those in the 70s and stuff. So like he's always been a very fashion forward kind of guy, and it'd be interesting to see like how crazy they make Jeremy Allen White get in this movie with the way he would wear.
I want to know about that. That's the thing, is also you got to build us a world. If it's highly stylized, the Elton John biopic, Rocket Man did that, and it like weaved the songs in a very interesting way as well. That's a really good example of like a fun biopic.
Yes.
The best biopics are the fun ones that take the character, take the concept, and run with it, and just flesh out a whole world and make it like stylized photography and stuff. So if you can make that kind of like moody, small town America, steel town, New Jersey kind of vibe, and you can like build a whole world out of that, Eddie and the Cruiser style, I mean, like, got yourself a movie. So those are the best biopics, the ones that take it as a jumping off point and make you a movie, a good movie.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that one.